Hey, welcome to the Purpose Podcast. I am your host, Joshua Akpara, and today we're going to have a real talk. I don't know where you are in your life. I don't know if you're in a great place or a low place, but I want to talk to some trailblazers today. I looked up the definition of trailblazer, and the Merriam-Webster dictionary says one that blazes a trail to guide others. That sounds amazing. There are many people, probably you listening to me right now, that you are a trailblazer. You probably clicked on this video, this podcast, because you are indeed a trailblazer. And it sounds good if the definition is simply one that blazes a trail to guide others. I mean, that sounds phenomenal. That sounds like some superhero stuff. I mean, come on now. It just sounds like you just leading the torch, like Captain America. In the Avengers, you're just the one that stands and says, "Come on, let's do this." And everybody looks for that highlight reel, that moment that every trailblazer goes and becomes the champion for the community. But the Cambridge gives a different definition that I love. It says, the first person to do something or go somewhere. Now let's take a pause really quickly. The first person to do something or go somewhere. In the first instance of reading this definition, it sounds normal. Yeah, that's what we expect a trailblazer to be. But many of us, if we could be honest, the first to do something or anything is not always the greatest feeling. Yes, it comes with the likes, the shares. Yes, it comes with the applause. Yes, it comes with the recognition. Yes, it comes with the honor and the prestige. But nobody talks about the loneliness. Nobody talks about the fear. Nobody talks about the doubt. Nobody talks about am I doing this right or wrong? I want to talk today to some trailblazers that are bearing the weight of being first to do anything, first to do anything, and yet still being the first to experience everything that comes with doing anything. You see, that's so interesting about a blazing trail, right? I mean, I wanted to find an imagery here, but I couldn't find one. Where when you're blazing the trail, I could just imagine, imagine you in some kind of a bush, some kind of scenic view with grasses everywhere, and somebody is blazing a trail. And as you're blazing the trail, imagine the obstacles that come. Imagine the issues that come with you blazing that trail. Imagine the wood that you bump into. Imagine the animals that are surrounding you, the attacks, the things that fly back at you. Imagine all of that, and you're doing all of it, and you're handling all of it just so somebody else behind you can walk, talk, do, be. I think in the instance we can even talk about that in regards to Black History Month. How many of what we're doing today is because there were some trailblazers. There were some people who got in the field and they decided that they were willing to take the hit. They were willing to be by themselves for a while. They were willing to deal with the loneliness that come with being different. And yes, we applaud them today, even though some of them are dead now. But I don't know if we could be in their shoes. I don't know if we were offered the same opportunity, if we would embrace it, if we saw the shadow that comes with the light. Every light has a shadow. Every good has a bad. Every success has a pain with it. Every trailblazer has a story that they don't share on their Instagram, on their Facebook, on their TikTok. Every trailblazer has a part of their life that if they shared it, you may not want to be that person. But we get to live today to enjoy the works that those who came before us have done. But dare I say that some of you listening to me right now, you are that person. Maybe you're the first in your family to go to college. Maybe you're the first in your family to own a business. Maybe you're the first to even stay married. Maybe you're the first to do what it is you're doing. I want to speak to some trailblazers that are carrying weights that nobody else can see. That when people see you, they see the success, they see the money, they see the cars, they see whatever avenue of success your career, your path comes with. But nobody ever sees the pain. They don't see the sleepless night. They don't see the loneliness that comes. They don't see the times where you have to wonder, am I even worth it? Am I valuable? Every success has a strain to it. Every purpose has a pain to it. Everything comes with a price, difference cost. Hey, Trailblazer, I know you may feel lonely. I know you're probably wondering, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I know there's so many people depending on your yes, so many people depending on you to keep going. One of the hardest parts about trailblazing is at the very core of it, you can't stop because people are constantly following and hoping that that trail that you're creating, that it leads them to somewhere. The pressure of being a trailblazer. Maybe you're listening and there's somebody in your family that is a trailblazer. And there's certain things they may not even say to you, certain pressures they may not even say to you. But every trailblazer has a hidden pressure, whether it's the pressure to perform, whether it's the pressure to provide, whether it's the pressure to protect. Every trailblazer has a pressure. And hey, trailblazer, I just want to share with you that I understand. I understand what it's like to be the first of something. Because when you're the first of something, you have to be willing to look stupid while doing it. That's the part about trailblazing people don't tell you about. Is you have to look stupid while doing it, just so the very ones that would tell you later on that your life became a pivotal point for them to turn and become successful in their own life. But they never remind you of what it's like when you were starting out. I know so many trailblazers who, when they were starting out, it looked dumb. And people are quick to say, that's stupid. That's dumb. Why would you do that? Nobody else is doing that. And I came here to tell that trailblazer listening, that's the exact reason why you should. That's the reason why you should want to keep going. Because the pressure of outside voices to a trailblazer, no one talks about that, but it's so critical for you to keep going because what's going on is people are internally feeling that they can't do what you're doing, but they're externally expressing their limitations on you. That's dumb. How you going to do that? That's stupid. Nobody ever done that. What they're really saying is, I can't do that. So why are you doing that? You see, as a trailblazer, you have to deal with the reality that people that want you to fail are the same ones that need you to succeed. Oh, gosh. I have to say that again. You have to deal with the reality that the same ones that want you to fail are oftentimes the same ones that need you to succeed. So you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep pressing. You have to keep trailing. You have to keep blazing. You have to keep moving on because there are people that are counting on you, Trailblazer. Yes, it may be lonely sometimes. There's not always a community for Trailblazers. Yes, it could be hard. Yes, there are moments where you can feel like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. Yes, there are moments where you're like, I really want to throw in the towel. I'm done. But if you never blaze that trail, no one could walk behind you. And if you never blaze that trail, no one could even have the audacity and the unction to blaze their own trail. We are here today because there were some people down history that we may or may not know who blazed trails that inspired us. Every one of us is a part of history, and your contribution to history can be seen in your ability and tenacity to not give up. I just want to encourage some trailblazer. Don't give up. Don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your goal. Don't give up on that thing that's on the inside of you that you're wondering if is it working? Are people seeing this? I don't believe there was a Martin Luther King Boulevard while Martin Luther King was alive. I don't believe there were schools named after him while he was alive. Sometimes, Trailblazer, unfortunately, you don't get to see the results of your impact. You cannot call yourself a trailblazer if you are so heavily based on seeing the result of your impact because most trailblazers never get to see it. Sometimes they hear about it. Sometimes you don't get to see it. Sometimes you're creating something that would outlive you. And I think that ought to be okay. I think that ought to be our goal. I think that ought to be our intent. That this trail that I'm blazing, generations that will come after me, they'll be able to use this. They'll be able to walk on this. They'll be able to do something with this. I think that ought to be the true intention. That we want to blaze a trail so someone else that probably was not even born in our time could look and say, because you did this, I can do that. Because you walked, I can walk too. But I also want you to know, Trailblazer, that you are not by yourself. Sometimes, as trailblazers, we fall into this mindset of thinking, yes, although we are the ones blazing the trail in our lane, there are other people like you who are blazing a trail in their own lane. You need to find community of others who know what it feels like to be you. Sometimes we like to have a pity party. And I've been there where it's like, well, nobody knows what I'm going through. Nobody cares about me. Nobody sees me. Nobody knows. It's just so, oh my God, it's so hard. It's so difficult. I get that. But there's somebody else out there that's blazing a trail that could probably use your support just as much as you could use theirs. You need someone you can depend on. Someone that understands what it's like to pioneer something. Someone that understands what it's like to deal with the burden of first. You need somebody. It may not be 100 people. It may not even be 50, 20, or even 10. But if you can have two people in your life that understands the weight you have to bear, not because they feel bad, but because they also are bearing weights too. Trailblazer, you need a partner. You need a friend. You need someone that can see you for you. I know it's difficult out there. I know it's hard. I know sometimes you want to quit and sometimes you want to give up. But what you're building is so much more bigger than you that you can't even do it by yourself. You need a partner. You need someone that will see it, someone that believes it, someone that knows it, and someone that knows that you can achieve it and they're willing to support it. Trailblazers need other trailblazers. You are the first of many. You are the first of many. And some nights may hurt. Some days could be painful. Some weeks could be burdensome. Some months could be dreadful. And if I could be honest, some years can seem like they're never ending. But what you are doing is you are building for the future. And I'm here to remind you, Trailblazer, don't stop building. Don't stop building. Don't stop building. Whether people show up to support you or not, don't stop building. You may have days where you feel like you're doing it all alone. Don't stop building. You may have days where you're wondering, is this all worth it? Some of you may not even have family or friends supporting you. Don't stop building. Because if you're trailing and you're blazing that trail, it's bigger than you. It's bigger than now. It's next. It's the future. And you keep blazing that trail. Hot days, cold winters, keep blazing. Because what you are building will become the path that the future can walk on. Don't stop building.